Good morning, everybody. Hello, hello. It is Thursday, March 11th, 2021, sorry. Almost scared everybody. My name's Jennifer Cotton. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Midlothian, Texas. That means I teach people how to make greeting cards, scrapbook pages, gift packaging, home decor pieces, and more with stamps, ink, paper, and much more products. Lots of cool tools and accessories. So welcome to the video. I do these every week, Thursday, 9 a.m. Central Time. Good morning, Pat and Susan and Linda. Hello. Hey, Landa. So I've been I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I've been one for 19 years now, and this is my business, so if you see anything you like in the video, it's available to get through me. That includes events and classes that you can take all around the United States, as well as the product. So, hello everybody. Hey Sherry. Hey Martha. Good morning. Hey Becky and Cindy. Good morning. Good morning. Okay, so I'm going to make 3 cards today using the Butterfly Brilliance bundle. Woohoo! These are the Brilliant Wings dies, which I'll show because there's more in there later. I'll show the full pack, and the Butterfly Brilliance stamp set, and then there's a couple other products that go with it. So I'll show all that when I do the stamping in a little bit. Thank you guys for sharing the video. As you come on, whether you're watching the replay or you're here right now, make sure you comment so you can be entered to win those 3 cards I'm going to make today. And if you share the video, make sure you comment that you shared, you'll get entered again, and both of those things help me in my business, so I appreciate it very much, and that's why I do the little drawing. I have some cards to share here first. They are swaps from my team meeting this past month, or well, this month. It was March because we do it at the very beginning of the month. The swapping part is optional. Look at the inside of this card. This is from Yolanda. But you know, whoever wants to participate can, and you get back 1 of each card when you participate in the swap, so it's awesome. These first 2 are from the Butterfly Brilliance suite, so I'm showing those first. Hey Cindy. This one is Sandy's card. And then this was our winner. Everybody in the team gets to vote. This was from Mary Ann. Isn't that cute? I'm using this stamp set on my sampler this month. Anyway, everybody gets to vote, and Mary Ann won this month. And this one's from Robin. I'm also showing Gilded Leafing today, and so that's got that on there. This one is from Dana. I think this was Dana's first swap to participate in. Yay. This one's from Dorothy. Dorothy actually used the little pieces that you poke out of the Butterfly Brilliant stamp set, which, yes, I don't have it. I can't show it right now because it's on a stand, but there's little pieces that come out between the butterflies, and anyway, I threw them on away, but she used those to make a background stamp. This one is from Shirley G, and this was her first swap with my team, and it's really impressive. I don't know if you can see, but these images in the back are stamped on vellum, heat embossed in white on vellum, and then this is heat embossed. It's really, really pretty. This is from Tara, sorry. And this was Tara's first swap with the team as well. This one is from Kim. Love those colors. And this one's from Shannon. So cute. And last but not least, from Jen. She's got some, what do we call that stuff? Now I'm going to blank out on the name. Shimmer paint, I think we call it. Okay, so welcome everybody. Hey, Deborah Clark. Good morning. Hey, Cindy. Or Cindy saying hi to Jackie, actually. Not me. I already said hi to Cindy. Thanks for sharing, everybody. Good morning, Veronica. Thanks for sharing, Martha. Hey, Rhonda. Hey, Helen. Thanks for sharing, you guys. Good morning, Dorothy. Just showed your card on here. Hey, Sherry. Stacy, good morning. Susan, Debbie. Awesome. Okay, hopefully I didn't miss anybody, but y'all know me. I usually do. Hey, Sandy. Okay, so every month I have an ordering special. If you place an order with me, you can do it in my online store. You can actually use this link right here if you like to get to the store. If you place an order with me in my online store of $25 or more, you get a free class packet to make 4 cards. It's mailed to you. Everything's cut, punched, die cut, embossed that we possibly can, and you stamp and assemble at home with my PDF tutorial and your stamps. So here's the link to my store. You can also, I can enter the order for you if you're having trouble with online ordering. The kit this month, we'll use the art gallery bundle. So again, we'll pre-die cut everything we can. Let me see on, if I can flip to this card real quick. Of course I can. Oh, just for an example, this was that swap I just showed you. If this were my card, we wouldn't be able to pre-die cut that part because you have to stamp first, but then you could hand cut it out. So anyway, and a lot of people just substitute whatever stamps they have on hand for that. So if it's $25 or more, you get a free class packet. That's a great deal. It's mailed to you. If it's $50 or more, you also get a free full accessory. Speaking of the ones for last month, for everyone who ordered in the month of February, your kits haven't gone out yet because we are waiting for my free gift to come back off back order in like 4 more days. And then I'll be expediting that order and getting it to me and getting those out. But everything else is ready to go for you. So anyway, any questions on that, let me know. If your online order is $150 or more, you still get the gift. But to get those gifts, you want to use my monthly host code, which is just some numbers and letters you type in when you're ordering. If you click this link, it actually links you directly to that host code. But if your order is $150 or more, don't use the host code. And then Stampin' Up's going to give you at least $15 in free merchandise. Plus, you'll get my gifts. So, questions, just let me know. Hey, Brenda, you're in California for your granddaughter's birthday. That's awesome. Thanks for sharing, Sandy and Rhonda. Hey, Rhonda, good morning. Good to see everybody. Joni, hello. Awesome. Okay, so what's next? Coming up events. To remind you, the deadline is coming up to register for my monthly events. March 15th for Stamp-A-Stack and Sampler, and March 18th, I believe, for, is it 18 or 19? Yes, 18, for card class and scrapbook class. So scrapbook, I've shown you this one. We're going to be making this 12 by 12 page. So cute. Same stamps from that swap. It's called Springtime Joy. And then we'll make 2 more pages using the Hey Birthday Chick bundle. Gonna be so cute. And it'll be like a birthday theme page. Last month we did make page 1 for the Easter page in last month's class. So that's how it works. We do 3 every month for $15, free with a $20 order. There's a host code for it. There's a registration link for all of this, and I can help you with any questions you have. So that Stamp-A-Stack card class is 4 cards for $15, free with a $20 order. There's a host code for that, and I can help you. There's a registration link, and the cards are going to use the amazing, what is it called? You Are Amazing stamp set. So any questions on those, let me know. Register for those 2 by March 18th. Now the Stamp-A-Stack and Sampler, I'm very excited about my sampler. I'm just saying, it's super cute. You should take this class. So Sampler is, let me show you a previous month one. It's a 12 by 12 piece of art. You can frame, you can frame it and give it away as a gift. That's a great thing. Or you can just have your one frame and switch out the designs every month in your home. You might want a black frame and a white frame and maybe a wood grain one to match it to the designs. I just have white, but you know. Anyway, this is a spring sampler using Springtime Joy stamp set. So again, you're going to stamp at home, just like card class, scrapbook class, and Stamp-A-Stack. With your stamps, I'm only using 1 to 2 stamp sets per class. This one is 1, Springtime Joy. That's all you need. Plus your stamps and ink and blender pens on this one. And I have a whole list of those supplies that I can give you. It's $28, and it includes over $20 in merchandise, plus all the stuff cut ready for you to stamp and assemble. We're gonna be die cutting some butterflies for you. We're going to, there's not a lot we have to pre-die cut on this one, but some little labels and stuff. So let me give you a sneak peek. I really recommend you sign up. The deadline is Monday, the 15th, and you can either join the club. There's 2 separate links, join the club link or register for the class as an a la carte link. It's so cute. So I'm using the Butterfly Brilliance paper in this one. It's so cute. The colors are so springy. I just really love it. I love how it turned out. So if you would like to take that class, contact me. I can give you those links. Then Stamp-A-Stack is 12 cards for $30. It includes over 20 in merchandise. There's 4 designs. You make 5 of each. I mean, 3 of each. 4 designs, 3 of each. Goodness, math. And these cards are using Hydrangea Haven Bundle. I'm trying to organize them how I want to sneak peek them here. I love them. I love how they turned out. You're going to get some of the acetate with your fee. You're going to get some designer paper, some ribbon, and so on. You're going to get over 20 in merchandise for only $30, plus the 12 cards. Plus we cut, die cut, punch, emboss. We bag it up by the card so you can easily find what you need and put your projects together. Register by Monday for those 2. Join the club. The reason to join the club is A, it's going to be like you don't have to sign up every month. It'll continue until you cancel. And B, if you're in the club for 6 months, you get $25 free merchandise. And then another 6 months, another $25. It's every 6 months. I'm trying to see if I can read what. Oh, sorry, you're late. No problem. Hello, Robin and Stella. Hey, Shirley. It's always fine to be late. It's always fine to watch replay. Good morning, Jen. Yeah, no problem on any of those things. Did I see Alicia there? I see you watching, but make sure you say hi. It shows like so-and-so's watching, like Linda Reed is watching. But if you don't comment later, those notifications are gone for the person doing the live. Okay, next, Butterfly Brilliance card class with games. We're going to play bingo for some door prizes, but you're going to get a class to make at least 4 cards using the 4 projects using the Butterfly Brilliance stuff, and then a chance to win some door prizes. This is Friday, April 23rd. The prizes will be from the new annual catalog that comes out in May. Sign up by April 11th. So I have time to get your packets cut with the help of Landa and mailed out in time. Hey, Dawn. Good morning. Hey, Diana. Hey, Alicia. Glad you said hi. You're going to get a bingo card product to use on your projects and keep the leftovers. You're going to get to participate in a Zoom party, which is always fun. I will demonstrate the cards on Zoom or whatever the projects are on Zoom, as well as play games with you, and we can visit and stuff. It's a lot of fun. Like all of my classes, everything's cut, punched, die cut, not stamped, cut, punched, die cut, and embossed that we possibly can. So all you have to do is stamp and assemble. And I am using an additional stamp set with this one. So you'll want your Butterfly Brilliance stamp set. And you will want, I have to find it in my notes. I keep forgetting to circle it. Happy Thoughts, or another greeting stamp set. Happy Thoughts is just all words. It's in this mini catalog. If you need that catalog, let me know. Hey, Joanne. So sign up for that by April 11th. All of these links are out there in the world, but if you need them, let me know. Okay, retreat in a box. I've talked about this the last couple of weeks. Sunday is the deadline to sign up. So today is Thursday. You have 3 days to sign up for this event. It's going to be awesome. You're going to get a bag with your name on it and, you know, matching our theme. You're going to get gifts. You're going to get 10 make and takes with PDF tutorial, everything cut, punched, embossed. It's all going to be organized for you. You're going to be, sorry, I was reading Martha and Hannah. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. There's also a chance to win door prizes as well when you purchase this. So I showed a really good sneak peek of these last week on Facebook Live. Here they are again. There's 6 cards. There's a cute box. There is an adorable sampler. By the way, we're using the sweet ice cream bundle, which I demonstrated on Facebook Live last week. There's 2 12x12 scrapbook pages, which can easily be converted to several cards if you don't scrapbook, but you know, either way. And over $50 in merchandise. I don't want to forget to mention that. Over 50 in designer papers, ribbons, accessories, etc. Thank you, Mary Ann. You and April always have an amazing retreat in a box. Well worth purchasing. Thank you very much. And we are doing an in-person retreat as well. And Mary Ann will be there, so she'll get all this but at the in-person. And then April and we do our retreats together. We each offer an optional class that you can take. So if you're not attending in person, which most are not, you can actually just take one of the classes, just take 2 of the classes, or just take the retreat in a box, or mix and match any way you want. So with that one registration link that says retreat in a box, you get the option to only take a class, only take this class, only take retreat. So my class is a Stamp-A-Stack. I'm very excited about these cards. I made them last night and I loved how they turned out. So you're going to make 20 cards, 5 designs, 4 of each, right? 5 designs. I cannot do math. 5, 10, 15, 20, 4 of each. They're so cute. So these cards are using the Prettiest Birthday stamp set. You're going to need that. You're going to need some Stampin' blends, which I can give you a list of, and like 3 or 4 ink pads. And then we give you everything else. You're going to get your designer paper, your ribbons, your dimensionals, and then you stamp and assemble at home with the PDF tutorial. And I am shooting for a goal to do videos, instructions, like tips for these as well, but that's a goal. Anyway, this is the Prettiest Birthday bundle. It is so cute. You can see the images there. There's macaroons, there's cakes, there's bouquets, balloons, all kinds of stuff. Cool greetings. But these dies are awesome, mainly because of this one label die that's going to match so many of your other projects. So let me give you that sneak peek again. I love these. If you love purple, this class is for you, but it's not only purple. I had a fun fold stuck in there. I have this one in the front because I just can't get my angles right. Love how it turned out. I love how they all turned out though. I mean, come on. So that class and April's class are each $45, but they include $35 in merchandise. More than 35 really. So, so there's that. And then April's class is using Butterfly Brilliance, which I personally, for my customers, I like to keep using the same stamps in several classes. That way you're not having to buy new stamps every time. You can take multiple classes, and you've already bought this stamp set, and now you get to use it for this one. Oh, and also games night, and also retreat class, and so on. So this one is $45, includes $35 in merchandise, and you're going to make 2 quick and easy mini albums, 2 cards, and 2 mini paper pumpkin boxes. Thank you, Marianne. She's already signed up. I actually saw that this morning because I was looking at registrations to see what I needed to order. Thank you, Marianne. I see lots of people are watching. I think that means you guys are sharing. Thank you, thank you. Please feel free to say hi so you can be entered to win the 3 cards I'm going to make today, which, believe it or not, I'm almost ready to make. Coming soon, which I really need to get my stuff together and set up this link for you guys, but my virtual new catalog kickoff is going to be May 15th. It's a Saturday, so I've been saying Friday or Saturday. I've confirmed I'm going to do it on Saturday. I am supposed to go out of town the next day, but I can do it. I'll just prepare to go out of town by Friday, and I'm going to do the event on Saturday. It's going to be awesome. It's got a new catalog kickoff, May 15th. You'll have plenty of time to order stamp sets and stuff from the new catalog if you like. And by the way, if this is your first time watching, please say that and let us know where you're watching from. I love, and I think my friends here too, love seeing new people and where they're from. It's really cool. And by the way, it's like, just a side note, in Texas, it is basically summer now. Like, I just bought a couple of sweatshirts like a week ago, and I'm like, well, I guess those are for next year now. It's going to be like 76 today or something crazy, which I am still trying to lose COVID weight, so I'm not ready for this weather at all. Debbie North in Ohio, welcome and hello. Okay, so the kickoff, what it's kind of each of my events are different, and so this one will be normally it's 10 projects, but on this we're going to do a Zoom and a Facebook group, and I will stamp every single project from beginning to end for you. Now it will be recorded. You don't have to be there in person. I mean, like at the video at the time it's happening. You can, because you can interact and it's more fun. But so that's that. It's May 15th. All the other details will be coming out soon. So in person, Marcia, I think I said that about the retreat, I think. And so what that is here in Texas, there's a location, and we actually, sorry, I'm laughing at what Holly said. In Texas, we, sorry, not because it's Texas. Local customers, obviously, can actually go to a place that we have reserved and bring all their crafting stuff, and everybody gets to work on their projects, whatever they want. They can also take the optional classes, which are self-paced, run throughout the weekend. There's a table set up for the make and takes, so we supply everything for the make and takes. You just go over there and stamp them. We, and then April and I bring lots of stamps. But pretty much we bring all of our stamps. We bring punches, ink pads, and all the dies and machines we have for everyone to use while they're there. So hopefully that makes sense. You can travel to our retreats. You can fly in, and they always include lodging. So anyway, any questions on that, let me know. So Marcia, I reached 1 million. Has it been 1 or 2 years ago? I think it's been 2 years. I honestly can't remember. I'm so bad with dates. I think it's, it has to be 2 to 3 years ago, because I've already had my trip to Stampin' Up. And that's in career sales. And so my stamp set, I can't tell you yet. So it's a secret, but I do have the stamp set here in my house. It's right over there. So it is coming in. You'll get to see it if you're a demonstrator March 24th, when they put our catalog online, and it'll have my name on there. Holly said, just turn the AC down and wear your sweatshirts. The problem, Holly, is I work in the garage. This is my garage, and we do have heat and AC out here, but I don't like to waste it and make it really cold or really warm. So if I were in the house, I could totally do that, but I'm like working out here all the time. So yeah, I would encourage you guys, if you're interested in traveling ever, contact me privately about dates of our in-person retreats. Obviously right now we still are going to have COVID rules, but hopefully the world's getting better and we can be more free soon. Okay, so I think I'm ready. Oh, let me tell you about Paper Pumpkin real quick. Stampin' Up! Just released today the info for our next Paper Pumpkin, which is our monthly craft box in the mail. It's called So Cool. Look how fruity and summery it is. This is the first kit Stampin' Up! Ever designed with kids in mind. That doesn't mean we adults can't do it, of course. Thank you, Carol, for sharing. And Diana, I'm glad you're excited. Marcia, Texas. Texas. Near Dallas in Texas. Okay, so you're going to get enough supplies. It comes in a box like this to make 12 fresh, fun-shaped cards with coordinating envelopes. You're going to, of course, get a stamp set. You're going to get an ink. You're going to get everything you need, adhesive, all that in the box. So if you order this for kids, they will have everything they need to be able to make it. It's going to feature vivid watercolor images. By the way, it's going to coordinate with all of the ice cream corner stuff. So that's cool. If you have those products or you want to get them later to match it, you can mix and match. Hey, Judy in East Tennessee. Thank you for joining. So I'm talking about Paper Pumpkin here. 2 matching sticker sheets, a versatile stamp set with sentiments for that the entire family can use all year long. Fun for all ages. Make lasting memories while you share the fun with these special kiddos in your life. It's cool. It's a cool, fresh way to share your passion for crafting and engage them in creative pursuits. So, you'll get the box, you'll get the stamp set. This is the one from February. You'll get whatever, you'll get the card bases and the envelopes. You'll get an ink and whatever else is needed to make those projects. Along with instructions, they're in there, and they do a little quick instruction video as well each month. Let me see if there's any other notes about Paper Pumpkin here. It says it's a little taste of summer fun. Again, makes 12 cards. You can, even though it was designed with kids in mind, it's great for all ages, of course. It's a great way to send some sunshine in a card. And it's for occasions such as birthdays, congrats, cheer, and more. So, I think it's going to be really fun. So how do you get Paper Pumpkin? I'm going to switch the camera around while I tell you about this part. Just to, give me something to do here. How do you get Paper Pumpkin? You can either use the link that I will give you to subscribe. And that's where you'll get it every single month. It's only $22 plus tax. That includes shipping. And pause. I rotated my phone the wrong way. It includes shipping. So plus tax only for a subscription. Or you can purchase it on my store. So you just go to my online store and you say Paper Pumpkin, or you type in Paper Pumpkin, and you can purchase that 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months. So 2 ways to get it. I'll give you all the links. Hey everybody, hello. Keep saying hi as you come on. If you're watching replay, keep saying hi because you'll get entered to win the cards I'm going to make today. I do want to remind you that March 24th is when our retiring list comes out from our big annual catalog. And that will mean anything on that list is going to be while supplies last, as soon as the list comes out on March 24th. So watch for emails from me and posts with links. Join my VIP Facebook group so you can see that stuff. And then get it while you can. So one of the things I recommend you get ahead of time is the retiring in colors. They are Rococo Rose, Terracotta Tile, Purple Posy, Pretty Peacock, and Seaside Spray. The sticky note is because I took the ink pad and it's packed away for one of my upcoming classes. So get these colors while you can before they become while supplies last. Especially get your ink refills. Get your markers, because these are consumable, so you know they do eventually dry out. That's natural. They're alcohol-based markers, just like a Sharpie. Get your cardstock so that these products can last you years down the line. And then of course you're going to know if a product includes this color in it, a ribbon, a designer paper, an embellishment, basically, it's going to retire also and be while supplies last. So it's better to place your order before it becomes while supplies last, if that makes sense. Okay, so I'm going to use Butterfly Brilliance bundle today. The dies, there are 12 dies. And this is, in case you're like, you know, not familiar with Stampin' Up, or you haven't been seeing my videos lately, or whatever the case is there. This is a product that is an early release from our new catalog. And so it's not in a catalog right now, but you can buy it. It's in a flyer and it's in the online store. So there's a stamp set, which is this one, which mine is not in here because it's ready for me to make my cards with. And there's the set of dies. There are 12 dies, including this one. I'm going to use some of these today, so you'll get to see that. All these awesome detailed butterfly dies and a bunch of other stuff. So the stamp set is 17, the dies are 44, but the bundle is only $54.75 because you get to save 10%. Then there is this designer paper. I pulled out one of each sheet, and I know I've shown these before, but I pulled out one of each sheet just to be able to show you quicker and easier. This is the one, I'll use it today. It matches the die. And then this is my favorite one because I've used all of my full sheets. I didn't have a full sheet to show you. So there is, I don't know how that matches up. That might be from the same. Anyway, there's a section over here that has some other color variations there. So let me flip them over so you can see the back side. So pretty. I actually, one of those sweatshirts I bought is this, literally this pattern right here. One of my new sweatshirts from Old Navy. So gorgeous paper. You can see these are neutral, as in not butterfly themed. Sorry, Martha, by the way, for all the butterflies, freaking her out. And then butterflies on every single one on the other side. But this paper is gorgeous. Now this is not a sneak peek from the new catalog. It is not coming back. It's while supplies last. I recommend you get it now. It's 48 sheets for $11.50. Or, excuse me, and I'm going to show you the one other product. There is a collection where you can just buy everything. It gives you one of each. And that is one item code, 15, ooh, let me get these readers. 159408 for $71.25. Martha said the cards are always lovely. You just probably don't want a real butterfly flying in your face, just like my daughter doesn't. And that last product is the Natural Touch Specialty Paper, which is 12 by 12. You get 2 sheets. It is double-sided. The other side, I don't even really know how to describe the design, but it has little flecks of white in it, almost like you did a bad paint job. Like, I don't know if y'all, every time I paint my walls, there's all these white spots. So it's like birch color with white, but then there's the birch design. And it's shiny, it's very thin, it's a completely different texture than all of our other papers. And you can see I've been using it up. But anyway, that one is while supplies last as well. So let me make the first card. I really like how my cards turned out today. Even though I was struggling when I first started for, you know, figuring out what I was going to do for Facebook Live. So first of all, I decided to use my Stamparatus. So this is the stamp set. It is stuck on here just like it sticks to the clear block, which I had my large clear block, and that's what I was going to use first. But I found that I was stamping it in Memento Black for one of my projects, I've got like junk all over my stamp. I was using Memento black ink, and I needed to stamp it twice to get a good solid image. And part of that is because I personally am very weak, like I have weak hands, not strong. So who knows, but I decided to put it on here. So this tool, if you're not familiar with it, it's amazing. You can put any stamps on it, photopolymer or red rubber. It comes with 2 plates. So there is a plate that goes here and a plate that goes here. And both of these plates can be flipped, and you can put another stamp here and stamp that side as well. It comes with a foam mat that can go right here on the base to make it a little thicker for when you're using photopolymer stamps, because they're skinnier, thinner than a red rubber, so that you need a lift. It comes with 2 magnets. Never get them close together because they'll snap together and probably break. This is just scratch paper I have on top of the base there, and I have it washi taped down. My tape is failing me because I had to actually remove the foam from under, but I was too lazy to switch out the scratch paper. Anyway, obviously you can interchange the stamps. It's awesome. So in this case, the reason I used it is so I could ink this twice and stamp it twice. Now, you can also just have strength in your hands and stamp it normal. There's also other tricks for stamping big stamps like this, where you ink up the entire image, you place your cardstock, let me grab a piece of fake cardstock, on top and rub. So there are many, many different ways to do this. Besides Stamparatus, you don't have to have it. And I and many people I know actually use big background stamps sometimes without even a clear block. So you can just lay it on the table, and because these are super sticky, either keep this sheet, which is what I always do, that comes in your package, and you can just keep it on that and stamp, or stick it to a silicone craft sheet. So hopefully all those tips make sense. And I'm mainly wanting to stress that you do not have to own Stamparatus to be able to use this stamp set. And I've used it. This was the first time I put it on the Stamparatus, even though I've used it several times. So hopefully that makes sense. I saw Carol said she has the same issues with her hands and she loves the Stamparatus. And I definitely agree that, like, I'm literally weak. Like, even since I've been doing this 19 years, back in the beginning, I was still weak. However, I'm going to grab a paper towel because I got my stamp really wet when I wiped it off. However, as I've gotten older, I also have like carpal tunnel and stuff. So if you have true hand issues, medical arthritis, shaking hands, any of that stuff, the Stamparatus can be a lifesaver for you. It can allow you to stamp everything just like everybody else. Okay, so apparently my chamois was really wet. So anyway, that was a long story short about that. My greeting for this card is going to come from Welcoming Window. So in this case, I was literally just looking for words that would look good on the card and match the theme. So I used, hope you have a wonderful Mother's Day. But I was looking at this stamp set. I haven't used it yet. This is a complete off topic. And I was like, man, I can't wait till I use this. It's so versatile. These, you can see it better here. See the holes in these, so you can stamp the greenery and then stamp the flowers inside the bouquets. Isn't that cool? Anyway, I haven't used it yet for other stuff. You can make a flower pots or a, what is that called, a vase pitcher, and brick walls and windows and shutters. It's gonna be so cool. Okay, so for this card, let me scooch this over for a minute so I can bring in my supplies. When you make a card with stamping, you take 8.5 by 11 cardstock and cut it in half. So I have a piece of basic white that I've done that to. It was 8.5 by 11. I cut it in half right down the middle, so that's 5.5 inches. And now I can get 2 cards out of one piece of paper. And then I fold it in half with my bone folder. You could also score it with your paper trimmer, the tool you cut the paper with, which of course we carry, an awesome one. Or you can just fold it in half with your finger, but I don't recommend that because the inside is going to be really wrinkled if you do that, this part here. So that's what I do. And then that'll be my card base. Then next I have a piece of our So Saffron cardstock, which is, I've cut already to 4 inches by 5 1/4. So basically I measured the front and went down 1/4 of an inch on each one. I'm going to cut out the butterflies from this piece of the designer paper, the one that matches my sweatshirt. And then because I'm going to show you that, you won't need to see it, but I've pre-die cut a stitched circle from the Natural Touch specialty paper. And where is it? Oh, that's the Stitch Shapes framelits, which has circles. There's 12 dies in here, circles, ovals, and squares. So 4 of each from large to small. Love it. This is the largest circle die that I used. And so die cutting, if you're new to stamping, you'll see what the heck that means here in just a second. Okay. I think, oh, and I have a scrap of basic white for my greeting. So the first thing I'll do is the stamping. So for this one, and really, I don't know if this was necessary, but I just wanted to do it to be a little different. When I place this stamp on the machine, what I do is I put my paper here that I'm going to stamp on. And so for the first card I did, it was a really big piece of paper. You can see these black Sharpie marks here. I'm trying to see. I think I'm off. I might need to back it up a little bit. So I laid the paper here, and then I marked where it would be. I tried to basically center it. It doesn't have to be perfect. Then I laid the stamp on top of it and centered it. And then I closed this lid and pressed and picked up the stamp. So now, every time I want to stamp that image, I put the paper here, lock it down with my magnets, and it'll be in the right spot for me. So I didn't want to move the stamp, but I wanted to stamp it at an angle on this piece. This is a different card than my first one. So without any ink on here, I was able to play with it. I laid the paper, and I'm like, is that good? And hopefully this makes sense. You figure out where you want to stamp your image, in this case. And then I just took a pen, because this does not need to be exact by any means. And I marked these 4 corners with a pen. You can use color coding. You can use whatever the heck you want. But I marked the 4 corners very loosely, because this one definitely does not need to be exact. And then my next step was to figure out where can I put these magnets that they're not going to hit the stamp every time I close it. In fact, I don't even think that's where I put it. I think it was down here. I just cover my magnets in, like, this was washi tape, but then I was like, no, let me just use, what's that stuff called? It's like masking tape for painting, basically. Y'all see what I'm doing here? Just trying. I want to hold the paper down, but obviously it can't hit the magnet when it closes. So you figure that out, and now you're ready to stamp. I think I was going to say something else about this, but I can't remember, so let's stamp it. So I'm using Mango Melody ink, which is, by the way, I just take the colors from the designer paper. They list the colors on the back of the paper, or in this case, I think on the front, and that's what I chose. So this is Mango Melody. I'm going to tap it all over. And the beauty of the Stamparatus is if you miss a spot, or you didn't ink it very well, or when you stamp, you don't press very hard, you can ink it up again and try again. So you close it and you press. Just make sure you're hitting all of the stamped images. And then you check it. Ooh, very light. So I can see on this image I missed, either I didn't press hard enough or something. So I'll make sure I really ink up that part, but I'm going to go ahead and ink up the whole thing, of course. And part of this is my angle because I'm far away from it. Normally I'm right on top of it with all my, you know, the weight of me pressing. So pretty. Now right here, if you can see it's lighter, I'm going to scoot that magnet back a little because that might be messing with that pressure. See? And I'll just hit that a little bit more, but it definitely got darker when I moved the magnet. So there we go. So we have a background, and honestly, I don't know if it makes a huge difference that I tilted it, but I tilted it. So it's not the straight up and down image like this. It's more at an angle. And now I have a background. Boom. Beautiful. I'm going to go ahead and clean this stamp off because I will be using it for all 3 cards today. So I have a baby wipe, and that's just to take the bulk of the ink off, but I didn't like that it was, these are leaving fibers on the stamp. So just be aware if you do this. You can also clean your plate if you got excess ink on there. And then I'll take my Simply Chamois and clean it more. Oh, this Simply Chamois is way too wet. I must not have squeezed it very well when I took it to the sink yesterday. Oh my gosh. Can y'all see all that water on there? Where did I put that paper towel? Your chamois should not be that wet. You're supposed to squeeze it out when you rinse it in the sink. And it's, it does get stained. That's all normal. But yeah, all that excess liquid is not how you want it. Because obviously that's going to get your, like, mess up your ink. Okay. So that's clean for my next card. I don't want to close it down on the magnets because they will put a dent. Anything pressing up against your rubber stamps is going to put a dent in it. Okay, so we have our background. We have this piece. And then the greeting, like I said, it's from Welcoming Window. I'm going to stamp that in Memento Black. Now, this is a different type of, literally, physically a different type of ink. So you can press really hard on the ink pads. And it says, hope you have a wonderful Mother's Day. So I'm going to hand cut that out. And then, I just saw something I forgot to bring over here, but it's not urgent, so that's fine. Okay, now for my die cutting. I just wanted to show you, in case you haven't seen it yet, the wonder and beauty and magic of this piece of designer paper. So this is my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. It is $130, and it is worth every penny. It comes with all of the accessories you need to be able to use any embossing or die cutting that Stampin' Up! Carries. You want all your plates to basically be even here. You lay your paper on the machine. Then you take your die, whichever die it is, blade down, and you're going to match up the image. Now, again, I can't get right on top of it to see if I am lining that up exactly. I'm going to grab a sticky note to hold it in place. But hopefully this will be good enough. It's better if you can be exactly on top of it so you can see the white border or no white border on both sides. I can't see this side very well because of where I'm standing. So you see I had the sticky note on there, so even though the paper kind of moved a little, the die didn't shift. And then you just run it through one time. I'm only running it slow because I know it shakes the camera really bad, but you can go really fast. You can be like, whoop, which is what I normally do. And the magic just comes right out of there. 6 butterflies ready to go on any projects you want. Love it. You can use these partial butterflies. You can hand cut those out or align them on the die on your projects, like on the edges or underneath another image. So don't throw those away, or you can use these strips here. So I have 6 butterflies. I'm not using all of these today on the cards today, so I'll have some extras left over for me. But now I basically have all the pieces to put my card together. I'm going to use the 2 that have the yellow and mango colors, the saffron and mango, and I'm not using these 4. Going to hand cut the image out, the greeting. I'm over here looking for my readers in the background. And actually, I did not put a greeting on the card I made. I actually thought it looked really nice without a greeting, and I don't think you have to put greetings on every card. You know, like a lot of times pre-Stampin' Up, you get a gift from someone that's a pack of note cards that's just like flowers on the front, no words. And those are very useful because you can truly use them for any occasion. You can make it birthday, make it sympathy, make it thank you, make it anniversary, whatever, just by the words you write inside. And so I won't actually attach this down to this card either, but I'll just send it along to the winner in case they want to use it. So I just hand cut that out real quick. And then the other thing I have is a piece of our silver metallic edge ribbon, which you've seen me use multiple times. And it's white. I did color it with a Stampin' Blend Mango Melody. And that's what I forgot to bring over here, was the Mango Stampin' Blend, just to give you a quick demo. But I pre-cut this. I measured how long it needed to be to tie it around in a bow so that I could color it. And I just did it ahead of time to save you guys time. But let me show you real quick. I'm looking for scratch paper. I don't know why I always forget. Well, I do know why, because it's not on my packing list. I always forget to grab scratch paper for these videos. But I do have a list, just like if I was doing an event, of what I need for the video, and scratch paper is not on that list. So you just turn your Stampin' Blend, which is an alcohol-based marker, on its side on the brush tip end and color. And then you check it and you see if you need to do the back, and you see if you need to add a second layer and all that stuff. But super quick and easy, and because it's alcohol based, it dries really quickly. So I just meant to bring the marker over here simply to quickly show you with this color, but it's the same thing, you get it. So for this card, I want to tie my ribbon around this piece first, and I'm going to make a bow on the right hand side. So I basically kind of get the ribbon measured out where I kind of have even tails here, and then I get to that point where I need help, and I grab my reverse tweezers, which I did look, because I'm missing one set of my tweezers, so I looked these up on Amazon the other day and ordered some, and reverse tweezers does work as a search. We don't, Stampin' Up! Doesn't carry these. But now my hands are free to tie the bow, and now I've flipped the project upside down so that when I tie the bow on the front of the card, it comes out right side up. Just a regular bow. Take those tweezers out, and of course fix your bow, make the loops even, and trim the tails and all that stuff. So I'll flip it around. I think just this left side needs a little bit trimmed off. I was trying to see what Robin said. I hope these ribbons are in the new, if you mean this silver metallic edge one, me too. This one and the white crinkled seam binding. They're very useful because we can make them any color we want. So I totally agree, Robin. So the circle is going to go here. So I'm testing it to see, do I need to scoot this ribbon over a little bit more to the right before I glue it down? which I did just a little bit. And I think I want it higher so my circle can be higher. Yeah, just like that. So now I'll take my tape runner, my Stampin' Seal, and normally, especially for this paper, it's so thin, I wouldn't put very much adhesive at all. But because I'm overlapping it over that kind of thick ribbon, I put a little more adhesive than normal. I want to pay attention and have the lines going horizontal on my card. So I just did look at that real quick. And then, of course, we're going to add the butterflies. So easy to sort of pop them up and bend those wings. I'll use my mini Stampin' Dimensionals. I'm just going to put a couple in the center here of each butterfly. If this is a card that's going to get put in an envelope and mailed, and so it might flatten out, you can add dimensionals to the wings also so they don't go all the way down flat. And then I will peel all of these off so I can see where, I can be ready to place them when I figure out where I want them. And maybe right about there. So cute. Then you can fix your bow, make it come over, and then attach this to the card base. And then for the greeting, sheesh. This is sticky adhesive, that's why you don't need very much. Show you how much I put on there. Of course, I'm just trying to center this as best I can. None of us are perfect. Hopefully none of you are perfect. I definitely am not. And I thought it looked great like this. But then I later remembered, oh yeah, I was going to try to put a greeting on there just to see, does it look better with a greeting? So this is where I thought to add a little greeting, depending on what you wanted your card to say. So you could have that on there, but I think it makes a great note card style where it's just basically, no greeting. Long story short. This one, I got the ink a little darker. Can y'all see that? Who knows why? Because I did do this one twice as well. Okay, so there is the first card. I hope you guys like that. Let's see what our second card is going to bring. Oh, yeah. So for this one, I have a greeting from In Bloom, because you kind of need, if you want words, you have to add them. I'm going to use the Painted Texture embossing folder, my jade blends, a punch, and some rhinestones and ribbon. And then my paper was on bottom here. A basic white card base, same as before. Then basic black 4 by 5 1/4. Then a sheet, here's that one, my favorite designer paper from the packet, which I literally cut up the last 2 full 6 by 6 pieces that I had of it for the sample card I made and this card. But I have ordered myself a new pack this morning, don't worry. That's 4 by 5 1/4. I have a big piece of white here to stamp the butterflies on. And then I have a scrap of Just Jade cardstock. And then this piece of Just Jade, hopefully you can see that there, has been embossed with the Painted Texture embossing folder. So that's this folder. It's in our mini catalog. Of course, like I said before, all these products are available through me, my store, or if you're a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, you know you can get them through yourself at a discount, which is a great perk. Anyone can be a demonstrator. You can buy that kit. It's $99 plus tax. You pick $125 in anything you want, and you'll get perks like a discount, being in my team, swaps, recognition, gatherings, and so on. Anyway, Painted Texture embossing folder. So you put your paper in here and you close it, and then it goes through the die cut machine. The only difference is which plastic pieces you put on top in what order. So very simple. If you don't know how to use a die cut machine, just let me know. Okay, so move that aside. For my stamping, let me fold this in half and get it out of the way. But for my stamping, I'm going to use the big piece of white, which I'll give you the measurement for, and my scrap here. I'm going to go ahead and fold my card base in half with the bone folder. And then set that aside. So all these pieces can wait till later. My greeting is coming from In Bloom because it says, "You are amazing." And I think we actually have a bunch of stamps in the mini catalog that have the word amazing, by the way. There's another stamp set that has a "You are amazing," but I was going to use that, and it's packed away for an incentive event I have for some of my customers Saturday. So anyway, I chose this one instead. It's also a very cute font, and this is a great stamp set. I love all the greetings in it. "You are amazing. You mean so much to me. Congrats. You're so fancy now. Happy birthday. You really are the best." That's In Bloom. But I'm using "You are amazing." So I'll stamp that first just to get it out of the way. So I'm using for that a scrap of Just Jade cardstock and the Timeless label punch, which is in our mini catalog. And so Memento black ink again for this one. So again, you can press harder on Memento black, and when you have a really solid image that needs really good inking on Memento, twist and then tap. Never twist on our regular ink pads, and never press hard. But do on Memento. That's where you can take out all of your anger, frustration, and you'll get a really good stamped image there. And then just turn your punch upside down, unlock it, align. And if you have issues with this for any reason, you can punch first and then just center the image and stamp it. But this allows me to stamp crooked and then align it in the punch. And Timeless labels are really good shape. Like, it's nice and elegant and simple. Okay, so there's that part. Now for the butterflies, my cardstock is basic white. It is 5 inches by 6 1/4. And I made it that size basically to be able to die cut it easily. So 5 by 6 1/4. Again, I'm using Stamparatus. This was the reason I brought out the Stamparatus, because the Memento black, I didn't stamp it very dark. So you may not have those issues. And then before I ink this all up, I'm going to figure out where the magnets can go. So hopefully you can see that I have space at the top, and then in this little opening to the bottom left between the two images. And then I'm just going to do the same thing as before, but again, I can do a little more with this ink pad. With the other one, I was just tapping and moving it around a lot, but with this one, I can twist and then tap. You never want to only twist, because that puts swishy lines on your image. But twisting kind of gets the ink down in the crevices. Tapping smooths it out and makes it a really nice, even ink application. And then we'll be able to repeat this if needed. So, and someone made a comment earlier. I just couldn't read it at that time. Thank you guys. I'm glad you like the card. Oh, Dawn says she does like the greeting. Good. Thank you, Jackie. What was it about? Yes, Cindy, I'll give you the link for the reverse tweezers. I do have an Amazon store if anyone's ever interested, where I share a lot of products that I purchase a lot. So let me write this down. Cindy, Amazon, reverse. And I bought actually a 2-pack for like $7 or $8, Cindy. So I thought that was a great deal. Oh, I'm glad you're getting good tips. Darn it, what was the comment about something they use to press on here? I use a dry eraser to get even pressure, even with the Stamparatus for large stamps. Okay, so there's a tip for you guys. Instead of your hands like I'm doing. Ooh, so, hey, I don't think I need to do that again. It looks good. I think because I talked so much while I was pressing it, I pressed for a long time. Another tip, side note, with this stamp for me, I was getting shadows, you know, ink on the edges around the image. So I took my scissors and cut off the excess. Can you see it there? It looks very messy. I don't care because no one's going to see that. They're going to see this, and this is what I care about. But when I do that, I specifically try to angle my scissors so that I'm only cutting off the red rubber, and I'm leaving this excess foam here because that's the base that makes your stamp strong. So I haven't yet needed to cut off this part, but if I do, I'll trim that as well. And I haven't needed to trim the bottom. So I only trim them when they're giving me those shadows. So it was the top here. So that's a tip. You can do that. I usually leave it mounted and just cut off the excess, just like that. And then another random, when I showed Dorothy's card at the beginning, these are the little pieces that you can pop out. They do pop out when you buy this stamp set. And a lot of people are saving them and using them to make background images. I threw mine in the trash because I'm getting, because I didn't think of that idea, A, and B, because I'm getting to where I'm just like, I can't save everything. This room is only a certain size. I can't save it all. So, but if I had seen that tip before, I would have saved that. So let me wipe my stamp down here. The next one we're going to use is Versamark ink. So, of course, I want this nice and clean for that. So I'm going to grab my chamois again, and it's going to get all wet. Yep. Squeeze your chamois out. That's the best tip for today. I normally do. I don't know what the heck. I was probably in a rush yesterday because I made all those cards for my prettiest birthday class, and I made all these cards, and I prepared for Facebook Live, so I was in a rush. Anyway, okay. So now, what my tip for this, of course, unless you're doing a background or something specific, is like I only needed this big butterfly. But my tip is go ahead and color them all in, and if you're not doing a specific project, just grab a bunch of, I'm using Stampin' Blends. If you wanted to watercolor, that would look amazing, but use Stays-On ink instead. Stays-On is for watercoloring, and Memento is for your Stampin' Blends. So I colored a full sheet, including these, which are the other ones. So I colored all these in just random. They're not random colors, to be honest. They are, I took my designer paper package and I went over to where I keep my Stampin' Blends, and I pulled out a bunch of these colors. Bermuda Bay, Blushing, we don't have Blushing Bride, Calypso Coral, Just Jade, Magenta Madness, Mango Melody, Mint Macaron, Misty Moonlight, Poppy Parade, and So Saffron. I didn't use them all, but that's what I pulled out to use. Okay? So then you'll have these to work with later and as you're working. And I literally did do this first yesterday and had the intention of maybe using these on other cards for Facebook Live. And then it just, you know how it evolves. And it didn't evolve to that. So all I ended up doing, I couldn't be very creative with my coloring. So I took my dark Just Jade and used the fine point. And I pinpointed this area, and I found out, and I'm assuming this is true with real butterflies in real life. I found out that these are not exact mirror images. So if you're trying to do the section over here in yellow and the section over here in yellow, it's gonna look a little different. They're not mirror images. So for my non-artistic brain, that was challenging. And so I just ended up going with what you see here. There are many very artistic examples, of course, on Pinterest, the best place ever to search for ideas, and other, you know, blogs and all that stuff. So you can get really creative with your coloring here, but I just used some dark in a few spots and then filled it in with light. Ugh, did that pop? And let me see if I can use the brush tip here. For me, a lot of times it's just easier for me to control the fine point of Stampin' Blends. But you can go over the dark, of course, because that's why they're called blends. The colors blend together. You could color in these black areas that they're not solid black. You could color right over those with this light. You could add other colors. You can mix and match, you know, so nothing I'm doing is exactly how it should be or shouldn't be. It's whatever works for you and your creativity, and you may actually know the pattern of butterfly wing colors. Let me move all these. They keep sliding. You know, the good thing with art is you can just say it's art, and that's why it's not an exact replica of nature or whatever. So this is what I did. And then I die cut it out with the same die as before, which I am going to do real quick because I didn't pre-die cut one out. But I colored these before I cut, not that you can't color them after. And as a quick side note, I took for actually another project I did, I'm in a tutorial co-op where we have to create a tutorial each month. So I took the back of this sheet and I stamped the butterflies on it in just jade ink, and then I ran it through the machine. I can't remember. Anyway, it doesn't matter, but I think I did it like this way. So I stamped the image on here and ran it through. Yeah, it was that direction. And so I ended up with all of these butterflies. And the card I made, I'm not allowed to show it because it's part of this co-op thing, but it turned out really cute. I wasn't like, oh my gosh, these are the most amazing things I've ever done, but mixed with a project, they looked really good. I think I'm missing the one that I put on the card, duh. So one's missing. Anyway, so think about that, like what patterns can you stamp this on and then just die cut it out, whether it would be a green or black or whatever. So this stamp set has a lot of possibilities. Okay, so let me cut this out real quick. I don't need to go through the whole lesson on it. I can just do it. But that, like I said, it's fun to just color, first of all. It's like a coloring book for adults. And then this will give you lots of options to use. And the black and white ones probably will be really pretty on some cards as well. So there's that option. Let me see these comments. Well, darn it. Thought I was going to be able to resist this butterfly set. Yeah. Catherine. This one is not, I'm not dissing our past butterfly and current. Because, I mean, we have a butterfly set in the mini catalog right now, which I own and I just haven't used yet. I'm not dissing any of those, but I think this is the best one we've ever sold. It's got the mix with the dies, which I'll use on the last card, of the detail butterflies and, the detailed die cut ones and the stamped ones. It's got it's got it all. And I really hope there'll be a new paper in the new annual catalog that has butterflies like this on it, but there's no way to know. This could be a stencil, by the way. You could sponge on that. I have a lot of these already, so I don't need that one, but I've been saving those as well. Okay, so here's my butterfly for this card. I've got my Just Jade ribbon, which usually these things retire, these accessories that match the current in colors. I don't know anything, but if you like these, there's 5 of those that go with the current in colors. I would get them now. I've got some rhinestones, and that's pretty much what I need to put this card together. So I am going to wrap ribbon around this whole piece that I'm attaching together now attaching my designer paper to the basic black. So I don't want to put that on the card base yet because of the ribbon. So let me move that card base out of my way. Then I attached this piece, the Embossed Just Jade, which I don't think I gave measurements for. I think it's 1 inch. Yeah, 1 inch by 5 inches. And that just goes to the left, but maybe a 1/4 to a 1/2 an inch from the left of the designer paper. And then I'll tie this ribbon around, all the way around the black piece at the bottom, and the bow will be on the left side. So right over the jade cardstock. And I will post a link, by the way, to my Amazon links, a link to my links as a comment in this video. Oh, let me turn this upside down so the bow will be right side up. The last card is with Gilded Leafing. I hope you guys like it. It is a lot. It's a lot. The card is a lot, if that makes sense. Like, when extra, that's the word I'm looking for. The card is extra. Okay, so there's my bow. I can still slide that up or down if I need to because I haven't glued anything down yet. You Are Amazing is going to go right across the center of that, so I think it's in a good spot. So I'm going to add my dimensionals to my greeting and my butterfly. I use minis now. So because this, normally I would just put a dimensional on each end of this greeting, this label, but I'm doing 4 top and bottom on each end so that they go around the ribbon instead of only sticking to the ribbon. They're on the outer sides of it. And then I'll just do my middle center of the butterfly dimensionals. But again, you could pop the wings up also if you were mailing it or putting it in an envelope for delivery. I will use my Take Your Pick tool for my rhinestones. I'm using 3 of the small ones. So I just keep my finger on the rhinestone to make sure it doesn't fly across the room and I lose it. Actually, that's not where I want that one. And then figure out where I want it on my project, put my finger back on top of it and release it. So there's that part. And then, of course, just my card base last but not least. So that's that card. To me, this was the simplest design-wise. I don't know. I mean, I guess probably the first one is, but to me, this was the simplest card design-wise. My colors look different on the butterfly. I don't remember if maybe I used, I think that is just jade though. What's the other color? Bermuda Bay. I'm not sure. But anyway, there you go. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you, Susan. Glad you guys like it. Make sure you're still commenting so you can be entered to win. Let's see if I can make that bow more like that bow. You'll be entered to win the 3 cards from today. Okay, so I have my last card, and I also have a nice stack of other butterfly bouquet collection to show you after. So for this card, we are using black and gold. Like I said, it's a little extra. My greeting is going to be from Treasured Medallion, and it's going to say, "You are a treasure." And I just thought this card went with that greeting, so that's why I used it. And I did pre-emboss that, heat embossing, with gold embossing powder, and I'm going to hand cut it out. That is because I'm going to be doing gilded leafing, which the process is very similar to heat embossing. So there's my greeting. And so you don't need to see it twice. But if you don't know how to heat emboss, just get with me and I can forward you a video about that. Okay, so I'm going to do the Gilded Leafing first just to get it out of the way. But let me tell you about my card pieces. We have a card base that's basic black, so it's 5.5, 8.5. Fold it in half. And then the next layer is also basic black, 4 by 5 5/4. That's the one I'm going to gilded leaf on. I have a piece for the inside that is 4 by 5 1/4, because the inside will be black otherwise. And I do need to stamp on that, but I hope I remember. I have a piece of gold foil that I'm going to die cut out. And then I have a basic black that I have already pre-die cut this lower bottom right hand side butterfly from, of the open ones that we have already used twice today. Now you could just cut a whole sheet of black, which is actually what I did, and now I have all those other ones to use on future projects. I am going to die cut the detail one because I want you to see how well it cuts. So it's going to be this one, which is going to match all of the big open butterflies, have an exact match of a detail one. But I'll do that later. I'm going to do Gilded Leafing first. So a lot of you, I know, have seen Gilded Leafing from me. And or you may have seen it from other videos or used it yourself. We even used Gilded Leafing at a retreat, or as a retreat in a box also project. Anyway, so, but it's always good to revisit, plus it just looks really cool on these. Okay, let me plug in my heat tool. In case you're like, what is Gilded Leafing? It's this. It's a jar of gold leaf. And I do keep mine in the jar. I know a lot of people have converted theirs to a, what's that called? Like a big tub. The same kind of tub I put my class supplies in. Like a Sterilite, whatever, storage tub. But I just don't need another giant thing to keep track of in this room. This size is better for me. So I'll show you how I control it. To use this, you just need something to stick it to. So it could be tape, like adhesive, tear and tape, or it could be this stuff called heat and stick powder, which is what I'm using today. This is the one that basically the steps are like heat embossing, except we're not heat embossing, we're making glue. So my heat and stick powder, I poured some into a container, which we don't sell these anymore, but you can use like a Tupperware or something. I think I'll add a little bit in there. I don't like to put too much, and I do this for embossing the same way. I don't like to put too much because if you knock this over on the floor and spill it, you've lost it all. I just keep the amount I need for my current project. And so I want to have this available. I'm going to need Versamark ink, which is a watermark ink, but it also stays wet long enough for these kind of powders to stick to. Same thing for heat embossing. Oh, and I need my stamp, which I did clean, right? Yes. I'm trying to think if I have everything I need. Okay. So, heat and stick powder. The most important key, oh, I know what I'm looking for, is the dryer sheet, which I don't, oh, here it is. I was like, I don't think it made it. I honestly don't know if it's necessary to remove the static from your paper with heat and stick powder. But embossing powder is very staticky, and so you want to take the static off, which I do with a dryer sheet, literally unused dryer sheet. So I just do it here as a safety measure, even though I haven't tested it without one. Okay, so that was the part I was because I knew there was something I wanted else to say. Now for this one, again, I need to figure out where I want the image, which I think is right about there. Yes. And I need to figure, you really don't want to touch your paper too much when you're going to be embossing and heat embossing, because the more you touch it, the more fingerprints can your powder can stick to. I think that's good. Where should I put this one? Honestly, I can't remember if I used the Stamparatus on this earlier or not. I think that'll be good enough. Okay, so let me ink this up. But with heat and stick powder, the #1 rule I need to tell you is do not heat it too long. The literal moment it goes shiny, move on to the next section. If you overheat it, it is not sticky enough for gilded leafing. It basically dries it out. So I inked that up with Versamark. I'm going to stamp it. Versamark is really sticky, so it's probably, as long as your ink pad is inked up well, it's going to transfer very well. It is a watermark, like I said, so you can see the image on there a little darker than the paper. But we want to now cover this with our powder, which again, regular ink, it wouldn't stick to because it would dry too fast. The one challenging thing on this was not touching the image with my thumbs on the edges. So then you can go back from the other side and catch this part you missed. Then you want to flip it upside down and thump back into your tray or your scratch paper. And then I also have a paintbrush here to remove any excess from the middle. Hopefully you can see that. I think that will work. So now is the part where I want to heat it, but I don't want to heat it any more than necessary, any longer than necessary. So you have to really keep a watch on it. And I have a piece of cardboard here covered in foil so I don't burn myself. And I always have a clothespin clipped to my heat tool, and I usually hold the paper with it, but in this case, I'm just going to use the corner to keep the paper from flying across the room. The heat tool takes a minute to heat up, but you'll see once it's hot, it's gonna like, it goes real fast. So we'll let it heat up here. I put it on high, which is #2 on Stampin' Up's heat tool. The low is like for drying inks and stuff. See that? It already changed, so move on. Especially this is like a thin stamped image, so there's not a lot of ink there. And it's making, if this was heat embossing, it would be turning gold and shiny. But this is making it turn into glue and sticky. I think I even missed a spot there, but it's okay because I'd rather it be. You need to protect your surface because this stuff goes everywhere. And you can start spreading your gilded leafing around your paper. You can also, by the way, not stamp an image, but instead like scrape the ink pad or sponge it on to get like cool, what's the word? Just almost like a background. Okay, so now we need a sponge to be able to spread that around. Mine says Gilded. It's in a baggie that's in a baggie because this stuff goes everywhere. This is my Gilded sponge. That's all I use it for. So as you press into the image, the Gilded sticks to the image and it emerges like beautiful magic. But I have found if you don't have enough Gilded to start, then you don't get a good image ever, if that makes sense, because basically the little crumbs are sticking to it and they're not allowing the bigger pieces to stick to it. By the way, don't sneeze or talk too much when you do this because every little breath we make makes this stuff blow across the room. Yeah, I've got a part right there that's not inked very well. I mean, you know, not enough glue or something. But this is how you use Gilded Leafing. It also works really cool like on two-step images where you got you've stamped in one color and now you're adding this as a layer on top. As always, when I do this on videos, I don't get as much gold on here as when I do it not on videos. Who knows why? But it still looks gorgeous. Oh, and you get like sometimes these super bright flecks and some that almost look copper. It's so cool. So I need to move this aside, my cardstock, and clean up my area here. So I do want to put the big chunks back in my jar, of course, right? And then the rest will go in the trash. And in this case, I actually was able to save the scratch paper from yesterday, but this is such a mess. I'm just going to fold up the scratch paper and throw it away. And put my thing back in its baggie. So, thank you, Pat. Oh, look, there's a big chunk I missed right here. And I have made several projects with my leafing, and that's all I've used. But if you pour this out into a big tub like we were talking about, you'll never get it back in this jar because it expands. Any little movement you make makes it blow around. So I'm going to fold this up. Goodness, I need to come out of the camera. Put that right into the trash can. And then I always have 2 pieces of scratch paper when I do stuff like that to catch the excess second. But there is more. I don't know if it's in camera there, but there's more here and here. So I'm gonna grab a baby wipe real quick just to quickly make my work surface semi-clean here. Here are the pieces I showed you already earlier. I'm gonna get that excess off there. And then for this piece, I'm gonna, over here, like just towards my floor, I'm gonna try to get any of this excess off. So yeah, can't really be that violent with it on the screen. Okay, so Gilded Leafing, it gives you such a cool effect. We saw it on that card that Robin made that I showed at the beginning. I'm going to grab my mini Stampin'. Oh, actually, I'm going to use the big one. It's easier to get to right now. My big Stampin' Cut and Emboss. And I just want to show you, when you die cut in general, intricate dies with your Stampin' Cut and Emboss, you still only have to run it through the machine 1 time. Again, I'm only doing it slow so that it doesn't shake you too much. Run it through 1 time. Can you see that on the screen there? In this case, nothing stayed in the die, but you want to clean that out if needed. And then there are still some pieces in there, which I'll show you how to take out in a second. And then you do just want to clean this off. I usually use my fingernail or the edge of the die and scrape that into the trash. But it cuts it in 1 run through is my point. So these dies are amazing. And then I will use my die brush to remove a lot of the excess, and then anything else if I can't get it out quickly with my fingers here. I use a toothpick so that I don't stab myself. A lot of people use the take your pick tool, which is perfectly fine, but I always end up poking myself if I do that. So love it. Look how gorgeous. Gold on gold on gold. Love, love, love. Okay. Then, as I told you, I already heat embossed the greeting to save time. And if you have never heat embossed before, it's very similar to what we did. But you would scoop this under the gold powder, Stampin' Versamark, scoop it under the gold powder, and then I'm going to hand cut this out. And then, what's the word I'm looking for? oh, when you heat it, you're looking for it to turn shiny and gold. You still don't want to overheat, but it's not the 911 emergency to get away from it once it's heated like it is with heat and stick powder. So I'm cutting this out like I did the other greeting. Just really tight around the words. Just like when you're cutting out a piece, something from a piece of white cardstock. This was stamped on black, by the way. If you're cutting out from a piece of white and you're not perfect, but you're putting it on white paper, it hides your imperfections. Same thing here. Black will be on top of black, so it'll hide my imperfections. Okay, so I have all the pieces to put this card together. I do want to stamp the inside, so I need to do that last, just so I can get this done for you. But I'm also using from Forever Greenery Trim Combo Pack, the gold twine. So I need to pull that out. Okay, so for my butterfly, this time I'll use my black mini Stampin' Dimensionals. And I'm going to cut a really skinny piece from the edges so that I can place that along the edge of the center of the gold foil butterfly I cut out. That was gold foil, by the way, the detail one. So 2 skinny strips there right down the middle. And because I'm putting this on the black one that I pre-die cut, so the black will make that just completely disappear. You won't see that big white chunk under there. So that's awesome. And then I'm going to place this on my project, this butterfly with Stampin' Dimensionals as well. So I'll just put 2 black ones on either side there. And I'm not going to attach it yet just so I can mess with it, you know, reposition it if I want, but I'm kind of going to lay it to the bottom leftish a little bit. Then for my greeting, "You are a treasure," I want to place some adhesive on the back and just tape runner, so my Stampin' Seal. And then after that, so I use the silicone sheet just keeps excess adhesive off your table. I'm going to take this and do what I call 2 fingers twice, 3 fingers 3 times. 2 times 2, 3 times 3. So I hold it in my left hand between my thumb and first finger, and I put 2 fingers out. And I wrap this around twice, 1, 2. Then I add a 3rd finger, and I go 1, 2, 3. Mary Ann actually taught me this. And then I cut it off. And so then you want to keep that shape. You can slide all your fingers out except that first one in your thumb. So you keep the basic shape. You can mess it up, but you want them to kind of be in that pattern. And this one, you can unravel the ends of this twine. It's really cool. And then that is going to get smushed into the adhesive we put on the greeting. Okay. Then I'm going to flip that over and place dimensionals on the back. So I've got some black minis here that I've already cut in half. So they will be perfect. When I do this, I always overlap the dimensional on top of the twine to help hold it down in place. And then, so now I'm really going to figure out how I want to lay this card out. I'll peel the backing off of each of these. And then pick it up. That could be the most challenging part of this entire card. Okay, so I'll put the greeting there, kind of bottom rightish. Not all the way to the bottom at all though. 1.5 to 2 inches up. And then the butterfly to the upper left of that. So pretty. Then I put that whole thing on dimensionals because I told you this card is extra. So black, I'll use my minis. I will do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 3, 3, and 3. I just stuck those backings not in a good place. I always like stick them on top of something, then I'm like, that wasn't smart. You're gonna have to move that. So this will go on the front of the card, centered basically. So cute. Let me bring in the other one because Gilded Leafing is much more solid on this one. I think the other one looks fine, like, because no one would ever know. That's the key. But the first one I made does have a lot more gold. So check that out. And let me show you how I stamped the background here. So, I mean the inside. I didn't want to take this off of here because I'm like, I've got it set up. I just want to work with what I have. Oh, good, Martha. I'm glad that twine tip helped you. It's very simple. The one thing I always forget on that twine tip, I didn't forget it today, but I always do, is add the adhesive first. Like, come on, get it together. I always have the twine and then I'm like, oh, I forgot to add the adhesive. So do that first. But let me wipe this off real quick, although it was Versamark ink, so I never stress if Versamark ink gets on another ink pad I have. So no big deal there. But, you know, since I'm doing this for you guys, I'll do that. So for the inside, I just wanted the bottom bottom right-hand corner stamped. Whew. So I took my paper, my white 4x5 1/4, and I figured out, where can I put this on here and it'll just stamp the bottom right-hand corner. Hold it down. Perfect. And I want it in black so it'll match the card. Now, the big tip here is always ink up way more than you think you need for the piece that you're stamping, because you're gonna not go far enough. So, like, I know it's just these 2 butterflies, but I'm going into the 3 surrounding it as well. Of course, with Stamparatus, you get a second chance, but especially if you're not using Stamparatus. Oh, get that. Didn't transfer that one part of the butterfly at all, or I didn't ink it. I don't know which. Yeah. Okay, I'm not inking up the full image. Yeah. Do as I say, not as I do. Thank goodness that was a Stamparatus. Anyway, that's how I did that. It's got the inside stamped. And the other one may be a little different positioning that I did. I don't remember now. I'll show you. But that's how I did that. And it's going to match, you know, everything matches. That will get attached on the inside. Here is the other one. Yeah, just a little bit more of that one butterfly. So, I hope you like these cards. Isn't that extra? It's so lush. It's a lush card. And then here's the second one. And then the first one. And I know at least one person said they liked that first one. I don't know if it was better with the greeting or with the greeting, but either way, you can have a greeting on there, of course. So there they are. Oh, good, Linda. I'm glad you love the gold leafing, because she was at the retreat where we used that. And I honestly couldn't tell who did and didn't like it, because it can be intimidating. So here are the cards from today. Comment, even if you're watching replay, to be entered. Remember, these products are available now. All of them. Anything I show is available now. But you can only get this designer paper and this Natural Touch while supplies last. Yeah, so any questions on any of that, let me know. Let me show y'all real quick some other samples I have. I already showed these 2 at the beginning, but now that you've seen the butterfly stuff a little more fully, you can maybe appreciate them more. A lot of these are in clear envelopes. Most of them are, because they're from a card swap I participated in as a demonstrator, another perk. These next 4, I believe, were from my team meeting, so that was an optional purchase they could make for only $10 to get the 4 make and takes with shipping. And they just stamped and assembled at home. Again, we just use words there. Simple. And then the rest of these are from card swaps that I've received from other demonstrators. So you can see different styles and tastes and color combinations. I really like this one, how the natural touch specialty paper looks on it. There's silver instead of gold. And so I hope you guys have a great week and a great day. Oh, there's one with the hydrangea acetate. And someone asked on last week's video how to use that acetate paper. And I saw the question after the video. But I basically, personally, have just been using it as designer paper. So as a background, as an accent. I don't like to die cut the acetate because I did get burned on that on a previous acetate we sold. It did not die cut well for me, although I've seen where people have done it online. But so I don't die cut it. And I don't punch it either. I just cut it with my paper cutter. This one was my swap, which I've shown this to in other places, like in my VIP group. I've shown that card before. So I stamped the background and used the designer paper. That's why I use so much of mine. And that's the other, I think, yeah, that's the other You Are Amazing. We have 2 different ones. And then here's the last one. Okay, so I hope you guys like it. Yellow is your fave. Thank you, Candy. I hope you enjoyed the video today, and any questions, just let me know. On any questions on anything, whether it's an event or a technique or whatever, you can contact me privately, or you can, of course, comment on the video, and hopefully I'll catch it and answer you. But if I didn't say hi to you, hello, thank you for watching. You can still comment so you can get entered to win these 3 cards. So do that, even if you're watching replay. Martha says the gold background has a vintage look. Definitely. Ugh, I just love it. I mean, and it's a special card you make for a special person, of course. But, you know, that can be worth it, like Linda was saying. Oh, Dawn, yes. Cutting the stamp set apart. I definitely am going to order a second stamp set for myself. I just haven't remembered to put it on any of my orders yet. And what she's talking about, I'm not sure if there was a conversation before that, is you can order a second one, and you know, just with your scissors, literally, I would put the sticker on first. Put that sticker on first, because you'll never get it on properly otherwise. And then cut them apart as if they're all one stamp. So then you'll have this to fit in the die exactly properly, and make backgrounds and everything I showed you today. And then you'll have a second one where you can use each butterfly individually, however you choose on a project. There is one of my swaps here where I'm assuming that's what someone did, because otherwise they went to a lot of trouble to ink up, I think it was this one, just the one smaller butterfly image. If you can see it there. So I'm assuming that's what that person did, was cut it up. Anyway, I was trying to read you guys' comments real quick. Who said, already ordered your second butterfly, Pat? Yes, awesome. I just need to literally remember, like I've already placed an order this morning for an event. Didn't add it. But I have another order to place for my, that class I was showing you guys earlier. I'm going to place an order for that today. So maybe I'll remember to add it on there. Rhonda, no, you haven't seen Gilded Leafing. Okay, I'm really glad I showed it again. There's always, if you are a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, there's always someone who hasn't seen what you're showing. Even if you learned it 30 years ago, somebody hasn't seen that technique, or they need a refresher. Okay, everybody have a great day. Susan also ordered her second. It's easy to order a second one when you're a demonstrator, because you're going to get a discount and you know you're going to be ordering something anyway. So, And March 24th, we demonstrators get to see the new catalog and the retiring list immediately when we wake up that day. So, all right, everybody have a great day. I will see y'all next week. I'm going to pull this down so I can end the video. And thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Bye.